So welcome, my name is Lisa Wickstead and I'm with Connections Yoga, and I'm so incredibly glad to have you guys here with me today. So thank you for your presence. The hardest thing sometimes is just showing up to the practice and getting on the platform. So now that you're here, you've done it, we can spend the time together to come into a space of comfort, to come into a space of release and strength as we engage in our chair yoga poses. But this class specifically is talking about and engaging in transformation. How do we invite transformation in our bodies, in our minds, in our hearts, not just in our practice, but in our daily lives? So let's bring ourselves away from the back of the chair. You want to settle your ankles under the knees, feet face forward. Yeah, take a moment to kind of wiggle a little bit and let that weight settle onto the base of our pelvis, the sit bones. And finding a comfortable place for the hands to relax. And roll your shoulders several times, just to take out some of the tension in the neck and the shoulders, because that's where we often hold our tension, up or back. As you lift your shoulders, you can even add in your arms. I want you to feel the stretch for the lower back. So think of lengthening and releasing. Maybe one more time, roll in the shoulders or the arms, and then settle into your space for your breath awareness. And close your eyes. Take a couple of side breaths. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Just let go of what you don't need. And then welcome the space of silence, of connection to the body, to the breath. Noticing how the body responds to your breath. When you have a pretty steady and comfortable breath in and out, I invite you to lengthen a little bit more through the belly, through the diaphragm, through the sternum area on the inhale. And you're going to squeeze the belly as you slowly exhale. Soft belly at the end to inhale, lengthening. Squeeze in belly, engage in those abdominal muscles as you exhale. And this will also help to strengthen the lower back. So maybe about 2 more times. As you come to the end of that second breath, transition back to the natural breath. And then pause and notice. Where in your body can you bring your attention to? Perhaps the heart, perhaps the belly, perhaps the back. Then we place a hand to the heart. And here we set our intention for our practice. Perhaps it's a profound intention, but a simple word of transformation. Perhaps something else speaks to us. Breathe in that space and allow the intention to just take up the whole mind and to settle into the body. And a gentle release and opening the eyes. And place the hands, back of the hands to your legs, palms up to the sky. We're going to squeeze with intention. Draw those fingers in towards the palms and then release and slowly squeeze and in and release and slowly. As you squeeze the fingers, squeeze the belly towards the spine and soften the belly slowly as the hands release. One more time. And let it go with a sigh breath. Good. Shake those hands out. And start to circle one direction and then the other. And then bring in our arms by the side. Yeah. All right, let's lengthen. Think of that belly and the lower back and middle back lengthening as you reach the arms up to the sky. Be intentional about how those arms come up. Feel nice and long length. Then squeeze that belly as you slowly descend the arms down. Make it count. Yeah. How slow can you go? Inhale up. Soft belly on the inhale. And then slow descent down. Squeeze the belly. Go slower than you think you can go. Yeah. Nice. All right, once we get here, we're just going to reach either to the base of our chair or the back of our chair. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Maybe invite a little arch for the back. Little back bend here to awaken. Press those shoulders back. And then to come out of that, you want to soften your grip, release your back, bend the elbows, and release. Then step the feet a little wider, come around the world. Here you're going to bring your heart towards one knee, lengthening, bring it to the other knee, and then circle back. So a nice release for the back. Feel free to put the weight into the feet, put the weight into your hands, and then change direction. Now, if you don't want to go as deep, you can also do what's called belly swirls, and you stay up tall and you swirl the belly around. So you may try both and see the benefits of both of those motions. When you feel nice and balanced, go ahead and come back up to the center and bring your feet back to hip distance. Extend the left leg long, flex the foot. Draw the toes towards the body. Give a nice hamstring stretch. Grab your chair. We're going to inhale, reach the arms forward. So just one arm comes up towards the sky, soften shoulder. You're going to hinge forward. And we're going to keep the spine long. So before you feel that curl, if you start to feel a curl, back out a little bit, pause. And then you're going to reach your arm across the body. You could squeeze the belly if you want and just touch your leg wherever it comes. Inhale the arm up and then lift the whole torso. We're going to keep our arm reaching long as we hinge forward and do it again. Think length, think reaching out and lowering the arm down. And take your time. Coming all the way back up. Once you get up, release that arm. Good. We're going to turn towards the bent knee. Just take a gentle twist. Hand to the chair, hand to the body, wherever those hands rest. And you can just casually pause, or you can engage and open the heart and squeeze the shoulder blades. If you want a little twist for the spine, turn the head over towards your opposite shoulder. Big twist for the spine when you do that. And then releasing your head back to the other shoulder and let go and come back to the center. Just gently soften your extended leg and draw your leg back in. Let's slide the other leg forward. If you want more open in the hips, go ahead and shift your leg over to the side. Draw your toes back, reach through the heels, and then grab onto your chair if you want. Your left arm is now going to come up, lengthen, hinge forward as much as you want or as little as you want, and lower the arm down, squeeze the belly. Inhale up, lift the torso. Feel that length as you come up. Good, beautiful. And then come back, hinging forward, then lower the arm. Making your way, take your time as you come all the way back up. And then a slow release for that arm. Then take both hands and turn towards your left side, that little twist. Couple breaths here. Turn the head to your side, over towards the opposite shoulder. And then bring the head back and release your twist. Soften your leg, bring it back. And let's prepare for a fold, just to release the back. So let's come into a half fold. We're gonna plant our hands to our thighs, hinge forward, reach to that tailbone. If you think about it, you might even take your hands and slide your hands up and down, or pressing the sacrum down as you hinge forward so that you can create some nice long length. And we're just gonna pause here. Go ahead and look between your toes or just beyond. You want to keep that head aligned with the spine. Then turn your head over to one side. Bring the nose back towards the earth. Turn the head to the other side. Back. Now as you press your palms together, see if you can squeeze the belly, press into the feet, lift your arms off of your knees, bring your hands to the heart center. Now we're using our core and back muscles to come out of that forward fold. Yeah, nice. Let's sweep the arms up to the sky. Big breath up. Turn palms down, exhale, squeeze the belly. Good. One more time, nice big breath. Just follow your own breath. Good. Let's get those hips into some action. We're gonna cross left leg over the right. Now, of course, you can back off a little bit. Rather than allowing the knee to fall out, which is an external hip rotation, we want to keep the knee pointing towards the sky. So either space between the legs or limited space. All right, let's get into those shoulders. We're going to come into eagle arms. So bring your arms in front of you, palms up to the sky. So here you can cross the arms and hug your shoulders, or you can stack your hands and wrists and elbows together, or you could cross and hug in. You decide what you'd like to do. Then if you desire, take a forward fold, lengthen as you compress belly to the thighs. Get into the back here. And then slowly come up. There we go. We're not using our hands to press us up, so therefore we're using the back muscles. Notice which arm is on top. Change your arm position, however it is. And then uncross the leg and cross your other leg over and make your adjustments. Now here, instead of taking a forward fold, we're going to twist to one side. And come to the center and twist to the other side. And back to the center. Release those arms and get some big arm circles. Working on range of motion. This is a nice way to get into the upper back. Maybe you want smaller circles or even tiny circles, and it's just movement for the forearms. So you decide how much motion you want for those shoulders. One more swirl. And release. Good. And then uncross those legs. Let's open those hip joints. So step your legs really wide. Get those ankles underneath your knees. Now let's take some lateral stretches. Let's start low together. Hands to the thighs, and you're just going to lean over to one side. And then pressing up and leaning over to the other side. So the side, torso, getting some work here. Still getting into the back. As you come to the center, we're going to reach left arm across and then turn palm down and reach over to the side. So a low lateral stretch. Coming back to the center. Lean over the other way and reach your arm across. And then back to the center. And then if you want to go higher, sweep your arm up and reach over to the side. Now you could also turn your heart to the sky. It might help to take your bottom hand and place it to the inside of your thigh and then rotate the heart towards the sky. And you could also set your hand on top of your head as an option. Yeah, beautiful. All right, slowly come out of your space. Remember, we come out just as slow as we go in. And then again, higher up on the other side or not. And then decide, do you face forward or do you rotate towards the sky? And then a gentle release. Good. While we're in this wide goddess legs, I'm going to invite you to take a full forward fold. So if you're dealing with osteopenia, osteoporosis, think long length rather than curling down. All right, so take your time as you hinge forward, find your balance in your half fold, and when you're ready, either stay there or bring fingertips, peace fingers, knuckles, hands towards the earth. Relax the head. Take a couple deep breaths. And when you're ready, lengthen. Shift the weight into one hand, bring your hand to your thigh. Shift the weight into the feet, bring your other hand up to your thighs, and then either press into your thighs or lift your hands if you want that core strength. And come all the way up. Yeah. All right, let's bring those legs together. See what you need to release. So now's our time for you to play in your space, to move, to twist, to stretch, to wiggle or jiggle a particular way. We're all going to look a little bit different because our bodies are all different. So we each have different things that we need to release. So now shifting to our standing part of our practice. Scooch back a little bit because we're going to work on sit to stands. So you want to put the ankles under the knees and think of it as being a hinging forward. So we want to increase our surface area. So spread your arms forward, and we're going to use that momentum to balance us and to reach forward. And when you can't reach anymore, the weight comes into the feet, and you're going to take your time and slowly bring yourself up. Now, if you need a little bit of push, a little bit of momentum to get yourself up, cool too. All right, we're going to go back down, reach the arms forward, hinging back, knees are going to naturally bend. You're going to keep hinging, settle that weight as slow as you can to your chair. And if you come down a little bit faster, that's okay too. So the more you do that sit to stand, the easier it is and the stronger it is for your body. We're going to do that 2 more times. This time, we're going to cross our arms, holding at the elbows or the forearms or the biceps. Reach forward, weight into the feet. Take your time, strengthening those legs. Good. And hinging back. And release the arms. Now, if you feel pretty comfortable sit to standing, you could come with hands to the heart center, which is a little bit more challenging. If you would want a little bit more stability, feel free to maybe try the arms out to your side as you come up. One final time, we're not going to sit down, and you might start one way and transition another way. All right, nice job, guys. Let's come to the back of our chairs. We're going to come to mountain, so no rush getting there. Come into your space. I want you to really feel grounded, because to make change in our lives, we have to have a strong basis of our values or what we deem as important at the time. So just like in our yoga practice, we want to feel nice and strong. So check if you want hip distance, heel to the arch of your foot and rotate back. Perhaps you want more stability, you take a wider step, or a more balanced challenge and you place the feet together. You decide. Weight front and back. Wiggle the knees a little bit and then soften. Energize the legs by lifting up. Gentle squeeze of the thighs towards each other. And if those glutes squeeze, which they almost always will start to do, you just kind of pat them out. Remind them to soften. All right, squeeze the belly, lift up. Maybe hold onto the chair or not. Roll your shoulders, let them cascade down your back, and chin neutral. And then if you want more balance challenge, close the eyes. And just breathe in your space, connecting to your intention. So one of the most challenging poses is considered mountain. In our busy lives, come into stillness. The other most challenging pose is Shavasana. It's mountain, lying down. We're going to slowly reach our arms wide. Bring our hands however you want to the heart center. Take a couple of deep breaths, still feeling grounded. How can you lift and lengthen? Good. And release. Now we're going to let it go. So now we have this nice strong foundation. We're going to shake out one arm, release tension in the wrist and the elbow and the shoulder. And when you're ready, add in the other arm by itself or both arms together. As we shake out one leg, you are strengthening the standing leg. You can continue to shake your arms or not, but you are standing and strengthening that ankle. You could kick, you could shake it loosely, whatever feels good. And then we shift to the other side. And release. Step your feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Bring a hand to the heart. Nice deep breath. And then you're going to inhale, reach that arm, follow your hand with your gaze, and come back as far as you desire. And bend the elbow, coming out of your twist, bring the hand back to the heart. Chin comes down to the chest as you look at that. And then sweep the arm out again. Maybe this time the palm comes up to the sky and you reach up towards the sky. Then sweep the hand back to the chest. And bring the arm by your side and come into a standing crescent moon. We're going to reach up and over. Just noticing how the feet apart gives you a little bit more stability. So opening in the outside, compression in the inside. Inhaling up and turn your palm down, exhale down. Now let's change this up and step our feet together. And inhale up and reaching over. Notice the change. Maybe you come on and off your chair. Maybe you just hold on. Inhale up and exhale down. Small changes. That outer leg is going to cross the ankle over to the other side. You could hover it or you could just plant it to the earth. One more crescent moon. And notice how that changes. And then inhale up, releasing the foot back to the earth and that arm back. So just small changes makes a big difference in our poses. Just as small changes in our routines or how we interact with others can make a huge difference in our lives. We're going to change sides. So you can just turn around or shift. We're going to start wider than hip distance. Take your nice, tall, lengthening crescent moon. Feel nice and rooted here in the feet. Inhale up and exhale the arm down. Bring the feet together. Try it again. And then standing leg, outside ankle crosses over. Try your crescent moon there. Again, with that option that you could come off the chair or you could hover the foot. And lengthening back up, uncross, release the arm. And noticing what you feel. We're going to work on a big release of the back. One of the best ways to release the back is downward facing dog. So grab the top of your chair and walk your legs back and stretch out nice and long, lengthening the back. And then if you want to get more into the shoulders, lower the head through the arms. Or less intensity, rest your arms to the top of your chair and lengthen and focus on the pelvis, reaching back. Maybe you want to bend one knee at a time, reach the tailbone back, or lift a heel. Maybe you want to lift both heels up, or bend your knees and sink down. Nice deep breaths. And then take your time, straighten the knees if you need to walk forward. And bring yourself back to your mountain, eyes closed or eyes open as you adjust. The eyes are closed. Go ahead and open the eyes. Let's come into a chair pose. So think of it as chair pose. We want to sit back towards an imaginary chair. So hold on to that top of that chair, feet at least hip distance apart. Think of pressing the hips back as you settle glutes towards the earth. So you can hold the top of the chair, the sides of the chair. You can come one arm off or both arms off, low or high. And I want you to think of it, chair pose. How does it make you feel when you think chair? Belly can be engaged or belly can be soft. And then you're going to release your arms and straighten your knees as you come up. Yeah. Now, we call it chair pose because it looks like chair pose, but Utkatasana actually translates as fierce pose. So now I want you to think about fierceness, okay? When you come into this chair pose, you're thinking strength for the legs, reaching back, reaching forward, and I want you to think fierce. And does it change your outlook? Hear me roar, say that. And then slowly come up. So our attitudes, how we look at the world around us and our experience with it, also changes our transformations and how we are in the world. Let's go ahead and start with some rubbing of the hands just to connect to the body. Rub the back of your hands, your wrist, your forearms, your upper arms, the shoulder. So think about like if you're in the shower, you're scrubbing underarms, and especially for women, very important to pat and encourage lymphatic drainage all up underneath of our armpits, along the sides of our chest. So feel free to take advantage of that. And then we're just gonna rub all across the chest, the belly. And you're gonna make your way to your other shoulder if you haven't gotten there, your other arm. And then again, that lymphatic drainage encouragement. And then let's get into our back. You could rub the back, or you could take the back of your hands to the back, or you could get a little pounding going. And then get into those glutes. Big muscle. To our hips, tops of our thighs. You're gonna come into a forward fold. So a little bit of space between your legs, rubbing inside of our thighs, tops of the thighs, sides and backs. Then as you continue to go down, get behind those knees and maybe draw circles down into the calf muscles, all the way at the Achilles tendon, at the ankles, the sides of our legs, the shins, the inside of our legs, and then get down into your feet. Rub the feet. Maybe you can get towards the arches, the outside or the heels. Shake your head, and then pause in your movement. Breathe. When you're ready, press into the feet and slowly come up. Ta-da! All right, again, back into mountain pose, that Tadasana. Tada, mountain. Asana is pose. That's why we hear it at the end of our Sanskrit names for our poses. Tadasana. And it's kind of fun just to go, ta-da! Because mountains are majestic and so are you. All right. Let's now step our feet wide. We're going to hold onto the chair. We're preparing for triangle pose. So once you come into your space, if you happen to know that you do better with a shorter stance for triangle, feel free to bring those feet a little bit closer. The foot that's closest to the chair is going to turn towards the chair. And with triangle, we're going to keep our knees straight. Some people like jutting out the hip to give them a little bit of space, and then lean towards your chair. So you can hold on. That back arm can stay right by your pelvis, or you could reach out from the shoulder, palm to the sky, or palm shines forward. Or if you like the lift of the arm up to the sky, feel free to do that. Or if you like extended triangle, turn your palm towards the earth and reach beyond the body. So lots of options, but you can choose any option you want. Yeah. So I invite you, squeeze the belly, press into the feet, slowly come up. Good. And then bend the knees slightly. We're just going to reach our arms into Warrior Two. Now, if you took a shorter stance, that means your Warrior Two pose is going to be a shorter stance. But I want you to energize, press the arms down like you are pressing on blocks to feel that energy. Press your shoulders down, squeeze the belly, and then turn your palms up and press down. And then straighten your knee as you reach your arms up to the sky. And then turn both feet out. And now we're in star pose. Yay! So much fun to twinkle your star. Shake those arms. And maybe make some noise. And then wrap your arms around yourself. Notice which arm's on top. Reach your arms back out and shake and make some noise. And then maybe, if you remember, hug your arms the other way. Good. You're doing a great job. All right, let's release the arms down. And then heel toe your way back up. And we're just going to change sides for triangle pose. So bringing the other foot close to your chair. Turning your foot then towards the chair, knees straight. And placement of the feet. You could draw a line from your heel to the arch of the foot. So if you notice your foot is more of like an L shape, just shift the foot so then you could have almost like a little T shape. All right, when you're ready, shift the hip out if you want to. Lean towards your chair. You can reach your bottom arm down towards the base of the chair, palm to the sky, and see what you want to do with the back arm. Maybe the hand just rests at the top of the pelvis. Maybe it comes from the shoulder to the sky or beyond. Do you want to engage your belly or not? So when you're ready, I'm going to have you bend that knee, and we're going to come up straight into warrior two. So wherever your arms are, make your way to your warrior two and energize those arms. And then you're going to bring the hands to the heart, arms back out. Head comes to the center as the hands come to the heart, arms come back out. And then release your arms. Turn your feet out and interlace your hands behind your back and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift your chest if you desire, just a little back bend. And then bend the elbows and release and take your time shifting to bring those feet back together. Yoga looks different if you're looking at side versus forward versus the back. It's kind of a different experience. There's a lot happening in our bodies. So although oftentimes in these classes, we're faced forward, we're looking at our cameras, we're seeing the front of our body, lots happening on the sides of the body and the back of our bodies. So speaking of back of our bodies, let's bring our hands to our chair and do a quad stretch. So you want to shift the weight into the left leg. You're going to bend your right knee. Your foot is flexed. You could stay here. You could add your right arm reaching back. Maybe you grab that foot and give it a good stretch, or you just reach back. Maybe you want to come into bow pose and you reach your left arm forward or out or up to the sky, and you hold on to your chair with your right hand. Squeeze your heel towards your glute and release. And then maybe you need to shake it out a little bit. And then we come back to stillness. Shift the weight over to the right leg. Lift your other leg, bent knee, flexed foot. Here, see what you like to do to play in your space. Do you grab that foot? Do you reach back to open the heart? Do you reach an arm forward to lengthen? Whenever you stand on one leg, you are strengthening the leg and strengthening the ankle. So many benefits. And when you're ready, release. And now it's your time to release the body. What do you want to do to help you release? We're going to take a couple of nice, big, deep breaths. So give yourself space so that you don't hit your chair. Inhale the arms, nice and reaching out, nice and tall. And then exhale down. Reach, reach, reach through the fingers as you come down. We'll do that one more time. And your next breath, I want you to be very loud and very releasing. Good. Now, before we come to sit back in our chair, I want you to intentionally think about how you're sitting in your chair. You want to come right in front of the chair. Here's that sit stand again. Don't get comfortable because we're going to stand back up. Maybe arms out wide. Reach hips back. Make your way back to your seat. Good. Once you get there, get it on back up. So beneficial. And then find another way to sit back down and stay down. Yay, we made it. So if you can do any one fitness exercise every day, sit to stand. Whenever you sit down on a chair, be intentional. We often just plop right down in a chair. When we get up from a chair, we often just jump up and go. So think about, how can I sit down intentionally and slowly? How can I get myself back up? Do it. And then sit back down again. And then when you leave your chair or your couch, wherever you're going, then intentionally stand up, sit back down, and stand back up again. It really works the hips. It's really an overall body workout. Hips, knees, ankles, legs, back, shoulders, depending on your arm choice. So it's an overall body workout. Super beneficial for us. All right, so we're going to start to wind down a little bit in our space. I invite you to bring your right ankle over top, just above the knee. And let's take a moment and pause here. And just notice what you feel. And then I invite you to massage. Maybe run your hands up and down the thighs towards the hips. Maybe your knee needs a little extra tender care, and you just run your hands along the kneecap. Maybe your calves are feeling it, and you rub your thumb along the calf. Maybe you want to get into the hip. Kind of fun to take your fist and twist at the thigh and the hip. And then we come to the ankle and to the foot. So using your other hand to massage and lovingly care for your foot. So oftentimes we have issues with our feet because our feet have gone through so much work for us throughout our lives. So I invite you to see how you can move, knead, stretch the feet. Maybe you want to separate the toes, spread those out, one from each other. Maybe you want to hug those toes or draw those toes in towards the ball of the foot. Or even just grab on to the foot, the ball, and roll the foot around. And give it a good cat out, or a little slap out. Good foot, good job. All right, let's take a twist here. Twist towards your right side. Feel free to use your chair. Press your back shoulder back. And release. And then for the lower back and the sacrum, let's take a forward fold. You could hold on to the back of the chair or the base of the chair. And think lengthen. Think of shoulders pressing towards the back of the chair. Little tuck of the chin. Nice big breaths here. See where you feel compression. And then press into your foot. Maybe use your hands, maybe you don't, to come back up. Good. And then a gentle release. Maybe you want to shake that foot out a little bit. Kick the leg a little bit. And settle the foot to the earth. And we're going to lift up the other leg. Flex the foot, bring that just above the knee, and then see what does this leg desire. Sometimes we don't even know what our leg needs until we get there. I'm thinking, oh, inner thighs. Feels good. All right. When you've given a nice, good rub down to the body parts, make your way to your ankle, to the feet. Maybe you want to squeeze and squeeze. Maybe you want to twist. Think about not like intentionally hurting, but think about like twisting a washcloth along those firm parts of the foot. Just a little twist. And then again, that idea of spreading the toes. Nice thing to do, if you can do it, is to stick your fingers in between your toes and then move the foot around. Or just spread those toes. Noticing the temperature of your foot. Maybe just giving it a nice little hug. And then when you're done, yay, feet. All right, make our way to our twist on this side. And release in our twist to take our forward fold. Perhaps you hold the leg, perhaps you hold the foot. Lengthen. Think of heart coming forward rather than curling the upper back, and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Maybe give a little squeeze to the belly. Nice deep breaths. And then maybe as you come up, you sweep your arms out from your side and inhale the arms up towards the sky as you come up, and exhale, hands down. Yeah. And then release. And then see what you need to do for that leg. So now we come into our space just before the Shavasana, because I want to give you some time to move in your space. What does your body need? If you're not sure, maybe some heel lifts, maybe some twists or folds, stretches. All of us are going to look different as we listen to our body and try different things out. When you feel balanced, take your time getting there, there's no rush. We'll come to our seated Shavasana. So with the ankles under the knees, the feet face forward, sitting a little bit further back on your chair, but still not touching the back of the chair. Roll your shoulders. Find a comfortable place for the hands to relax, either palms up, stacked, hand to the heart. And close the eyes. Notice again the breath. Notice the body responding to the breath. Then can you breathe in, transform, and breathe out, transform. To transform and to change ourselves for the better. And then to transform the world to a better place because you are in it. Connect to your intention and come to a beautiful, quiet space. Deepen your breath. Allow that breath to fill you up with peace. And a gentle opening of the eyes. Circle the hands one direction, then the other. Maybe wiggle toes or squeeze feet or move feet. Move the head a little bit. Give it a good stretch for the arms and the shoulders and the back. Oh yeah. Give yourself a hug. You deserve it. Oh, nice job. And there's my hug from me to you. Let's go ahead and bring our hands to the heart center. Thank you so much for your presence here today. It's a joy to share this class with you. May you go forth, transforming the world and yourself into a positive influence and happiness always. Namaste. When you click the leave button, you get the opportunity to leave a star rating, and those star ratings are what keeps our classes on the Burn Along platform. So for all the Burn Along teachers, I thank you so much for taking a moment to do that for us. Then if you'd like to leave a comment to share about your experience and how it can transform you or how you can transform the world around you, feel free to do so. Click that submit button. It'll take you right back to the class description, and there's going to be 2 links in that class description. If you'd like to follow me as an instructor to get easier access to my classes, there's a link there to follow me. Also, there's a link to access other gentle yoga classes. You can explore those on-demand classes anytime your heart desires, and I look forward to connecting with you very, very soon. Take care.